Mushroom supplements are expensive and often filled with stuff you don't want. Making them yourself is cheaper, fresher, and you know exactly what's inside. So today, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that. For starters, of course, we're going to need to get our hands on some mushrooms. I've been growing lion's mane and they're all ready to harvest, so I'm going to use those, but this process will work the same with any mushroom. You can even just buy some from the grocery store if you want. So with our fresh mushrooms in hand, the first step is going to be to dehydrate them. I like to dehydrate my mushrooms at 104 degrees Fahrenheit, as that's a low enough temperature to not damage any of those precious compounds I want to preserve. Depending on a variety of factors, your mushrooms will probably be dry in anywhere from 8 to 24 hours. I generally prefer to err on the side of longer to make sure that there's absolutely no moisture inside these mushrooms anymore. To test when your mushrooms are fully dry, we can do the snap test, and they should simply snap like a cracker. If they bend or fold at all, we'll need to dehydrate those a bit longer. Then, once they're sufficiently dry, we can just throw those in our coffee grinder and grind them up to a fine powder. Any big chunks left behind are going to make it that much harder to fill your capsules. It's not the end of the world, but they can be a bit of a pain, so try to grind it up as fine as possible. The grinder I use is on the smaller side, and I need to grind up 100 grams of mushrooms here, so it's going to take me a few batches to accomplish that. Once we get all those mushrooms ground up, we're ready to move on to the next step. We're going to need to grab our capsules and our capsule filling machine. For this step, I got my machine from Bladed. It's well made and easy to use. What more could a guy want? I'll link it below for anyone interested in checking it out. Take note here that you need a separate capsule machine for each different size capsule you want to use. For instance, I want these capsules today to measure out to be about a gram, so I got the size 000 machine and the size 000 capsules. In the past, I used a size 4 machine and capsule, and that was to fill my capsules to about 150 milligrams. So it depends what you're trying to do. I just recommend checking out the different ranges for each given capsule size to make sure you get the right size for your needs. So you can buy your capsules pre-separated, and if you did that, you can go ahead and skip this next step. However, if you didn't, we're going to need to pull each of these capsules apart. Doesn't really take too long, it's just an extra little step. So for this, I'll simply grab 2 bowls and separate all my capsules. We'll drop the body in one bowl and the cap in the other. Once I have my capsules all separated, I'll set those off to the side and break out my capsule press. All we need to do in terms of assembly is attach this handle to our tamper tool. A couple of screws and we're ready to go. Easy enough. Now I'm going to put what's called the body plate down first. Then I'll set the frame plate on top of that. Each part is labeled and the name of that plate should be facing upwards if that helps you orient it. Now I'll pour my capsules onto my frame plate and shake it around until they all fall into place. In my experience, this gets about 70 to 80% of the capsules where they need to go, and then I'll just do the rest by hand. After all the spots are filled, we just want to do a quick look over and make sure none of our capsules went in upside down. If they did, I'll just take another capsule body, press it onto the one that's upside down, pull it out, and give it a quick flip. Now with all 100 of my capsule bodies in place, I'm going to remove the frame plate and add the spill guard. I'm going to pour my mountain of lion's mane powder on top and start spreading it around as evenly as possible. And wouldn't you know, I found a couple chunks of lion's mane that escaped being ground, so I'm just gonna set those aside for now. If you guys are doing bigger batches, you don't need to dump all this powder on there at once. You can add it in small increments, and that's honestly probably a better option. I just got a little bit ambitious here. So once we get our powder pretty even, we're gonna take that tamper tool that we screwed the handle onto and just press this powder into the capsules. Unfortunately, I got a little too excited here and pressed way too hard and made a complete mess, but it's okay, mistakes happen. I'm just gonna scrape up that extra powder and pour it right back in with the rest. Then at this point, we really just rinse and repeat the process. Spread the powder around, tamp it down, spread it around, tamp it down. I'll usually repeat this until the amount that I'm getting into my capsules is pretty minimal. You can see the little depressions on there after you use your tamper tool, and you can see how deep it's going or how compact it's getting. Once I'm at the point where I'm not really getting a lot of powder in there anymore, I'm just gonna scrape the excess powder off and set it aside for another batch. Now we're just gonna slide these parts out of the way and break out the capping plate. We're gonna grab the frame plate we used earlier and place it on top of this capping plate, then pour all of our caps on top of that. This is gonna be the same process as earlier. Shake it around, fill the rest by hand, and use those capsules to grab any that went upside down and just give them a quick flip. Once we have all 100 caps oriented correctly, we're going to remove the frame plate and add the middle plate. Now pinching these together, we're gonna flip both of them upside down and press them on top of the body plate to join the two capsule halves. After a couple clicks, you can remove the capping plate and see all your beautiful capsules. Look at that! My goal was to get each of these capsules to 1 gram, so I pull out my little scale and the first two come out to 1 gram exactly, with the third hitting 1.07 grams. Close enough. I usually figure if I'm within 10% of my goal, then I'm a happy camper. And that's all there really is to it. Obviously, for the sake of this channel and my goals, I'm using dried mushrooms today to create this daily lion's mane supplement, but you could follow these same steps and create supplement capsules out of anything you wanted. If you have some friggin' vitamin E powder or magnesium or whatever it is you want to supplement with. And this process will remain the same regardless of which capsule size you use. And that settles that. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know down below. If you guys are interested in seeing how I grew this lion's mane, I'll link that video right up here. And that's it. Happy growing.